The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Shockwave in West Africa. The president of Guinea Bissau that was detained or arrested by the military leader escaped as ECOWAS suspended Guinea Bissau from ECOWAS. Quote, the MSC decides, in accordance with the provisions of the ECOWAS Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance 2001, to suspend Guinea-Bissau from all ECOWAS decision-making bodies until the restoration of full and effective constitutional order in the country. Unquote.
In Guinea-Bissau and, monitoring these elections.
Thank you so much. Since I left office, I've always been scared talking to the media. But in this particular case, I decided to speak to the media. First and foremost, to thank Nigerians for the show of empathy, the encouragement, because while we were in Bissau and this so-called coup happened, the information we got was that the whole country was agitated, young and old, irrespective of religious divides or political divides. And I sincerely appreciate Nigerians, and I want them to hear directly from my mouth to appreciate their concern. And secondly, to thank my president, President Tinubu, and the Ivorian president, President Ouattara. Both presidents were to send aircraft to lift us, but somehow, Côte d'Ivoire is closer to Guinea-Bissau, and there's always some relationship between Francophone countries and the Lusophones among the Francophones. They were able to penetrate their system to get landing permit first before Nigeria could do that. So the Ivorian aircraft was already on their way to pick us. So when we learned about the Nigerian aircraft about leaving, we asked them not to bother. That is why if you see the picture, I was brought by an Ivorian aircraft. So we thank the two presidents, President Ouattara, President Tinubu, and indeed thank Nigerians young and old for that. And specifically, what happened in Guinea-Bissau, I wouldn't call it a coup. It was not a coup. Maybe some people describe it as no, not quite. I would just say, if it is like, for want of better word, I would say maybe it was a ceremonial coup. Because for two things, it is the president, President Balo, that announced the coup. Before later, the military man came up to address the world that they were in charge of everywhere. Then Mbalo has already announced the coup, which is strange. Not only announcing the coup, but Mbalo, while the coup took place, was using his phone and addressing media organizations across the world that he has been arrested. I'm a Nigerian close to 70, and I know how they keep heads of states when the coup takes place. Recently, I was a mediator in Mali, an ECOWAS mediator in Mali, and within that period, we had a military coup. Military don't take over governments, and the sitting president that they overthrown will be allowed to be addressing press conferences and announcing that he has been arrested. Why does this happen? Who is fooling who? Basically, what happened in Guinea-Bissau is quite disturbing to me, who believes in democracy. In fact, I feel more pained than the day I called Buhari to congratulate him when I lost the election as a sitting president. Because I've been quite particular about Guinea-Bissau. As a sitting president, then Guinea-Bissau was in crisis. Started by 2012. By 2011, we have to go physically. We worked with them. and made sure that by 2014, 2013, elections were conducted. In fact, it was so bad the day that I learned that a military man went to the office of the Prime Minister and slapped the Prime Minister in the office. It was that bad. And what is happening is like we are going back to those dark days of Guinea Bissau, where the military can do whatever they think they can do. It's totally not acceptable. The elections were done peacefully. We were in the field. I was a part of the West African Elders Forum. Normally we are not co-observers, so we didn't deploy observation teams across, but we observed within Bissau, the capital, and the neighboring settlements. But during the meeting of all heads of observation missions, and they gave accounts of all the observers gave their account, nobody gave something different. The elections were peaceful. Counting of results at the polling units peacefully done. The conduct of the electoral officials, the security, the party agents, the voters. It was also a good election, and one expected the results to be announced. Then while they were collating the results, then they are finished collating results. You know, results are, for presidential election are collated at different levels.
That's right.
The 9 regions, results were ready. So they were collating them at the capital. And when they were almost through, and we were all waiting for the result to be announced, then Mbelo announced that there's a coup. That they have taken over, they have arrested him. But from all indications, nobody arrested him. My conviction is that, and my charge to ECOWAS and AU is that they must announce the results. They have the results because AU and ECOWAS officials were at all the regions when the results were collated. You cannot change those results. They should tally all those results and announce. They cannot force the military out, but they must announce, let the world know who won that election. Let the world know who won that election. And they owe the world that responsibility. Similar thing happened in Cote d'Ivoire when I was the chair of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS. When in 2010 we had elections in Cote d'Ivoire, Gbagbo was the sitting president. At the first round, Gbagbo got 40-something% of the votes. Ouattara got 30-something% of the votes. And their law, you must get 50% of the votes plus 1 at least. Democracy is about majority. You must get a simple majority to be the president. So they have to go for a second round. And when they went for the second round, all those other candidates that lost now supported Ouattara. And Ouattara now got more votes than Gbagbo. And Gbagbo said he was not going. That he won the election. How can somebody who had something now come and defeat him? But that is the law. Then all the observers in the international community say Ouattara won the election. Then we said, well, we are our colleague, but you have to go. If the observers, everybody say, Ouattara won the election, Ouattara must be sworn in as the president of Cote d'Ivoire. I stood my ground as the chair of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS, and Ouattara was sworn in. So, the leadership of ECOWAS, luckily, Madabio was a former military man himself, so he should be courageous. The leadership of AU, they must be courageous. They must announce who won that election. I'm not saying they should mobilize soldiers to go and fight, no need to shed blood, but we must know. Because the results are there. They have the results. The AU, ECOWAS, they have the results. So cannot be playing pranks. Nobody should call others fools. There's no way they remove a military coup. Military coup at the time they want to announce the result. How? And the president was the person who announced the coup. It doesn't happen anywhere. Well, people are too young, so they didn't know what used to happen in Nigeria.
ECOWAS is an organization that is only there to protect democracy. Any other leader that is outside of this democratic whatever is not part of them. As long as you are a democratic leader and you are doing nothing, you are welcomed. This is what this organization stands for. And that is the reason to which Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, the leaders, decided to move. People are saying that this coup is a stage coup. And that is the reason to which this man was able to escape with that nothing happening to him. And according to some sources, this man was the one who even called the French media houses and some media houses in Guinea-Bissau to tell them that he is under house arrest and he has been deposed and the military has taken over. And they are saying that when military sees power, if it is a genuine one, the military are the ones that will come out to give this announcement. But this man was the one who was telling people what is happening in the country because they've given him a phone and he was just relaxing. So people are concluding that this coup was a stage coup so that they can continue to maintain the current president, the so-called outgone president. So he can continue to be the leader because the opposition leader won and they didn't know how to overturn the results like they did in Cameroon. So they have to find another way to do this, and that he planned everything with the military, and the military are with this man. So what they are doing is like the man will still be the one that will be in charge of everything even though he is not here. And the way this man was able to escape with this heavy security is also questionable. And these are the things that Africans are looking at, and they are also believing that truly this wasn't a good coup. It was just staged so that we can have this man to be the leader in Guinea-Bissau. But why did ECOWAS come out to issue a statement suspending Guinea-Bissau from the bloc? Maybe because they are not aware of what is happening in Guinea-Bissau. That was why they came out. Like, everything is getting interesting. Day in, day out, things are unfolding. We are not expecting to be seeing these things in Africa at this crucial moment. One time I said, Africans, anytime we see that something is happening and is trending, we need to be mindful, because that is the time that our leaders always get the chance to push things through. Because that time we are all busy concentrating on one thing. We will be disappointed if this thing turns out to be true, with all those things that we are hearing concerning the Guinea-Bissau coup that happened. And ECOWAS, we expect that this organization will act in the interest of protecting people and not democracy. Because democracy is a system we have realized that is the reason to which Africa is not moving forward. Even their own people are coming out to tell us the reason to which Africa is not moving. And that we don't expect to say we are independent and still be practicing the colonizers' way of governance. We will never get anywhere. So, we have had enough. And if this is an organization only for democracy, then let us know so we can form our own. Okay, we have one. AES is there. So we don't even need to be part of an organization that do not think much of the people, but rather quick in protecting only democracy, the Western system of governance. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Guinea-Bissau.